Happy Friday, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are in the world. It warms my heart to be with you in community. And so whether you're listening to the session now with me live or you're listening it to after, know that this is the perfect time for you to be here. And in gratitude to you all. All right. Little disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. You need one, get to one. You're having an emergency, that's why they have hospitals. For my full disclaimer, you can see that on my YouTube channel. All right, first thing that we're going into is unburdening, specifically within the cellular system. When I tuned into the world, it just felt really heavy, like there was such a burden. So it feels like instead of the cells thriving, so we're made of trillions of cells, these cells need to be in communication, dumping out toxins, rehydrating, regenerating healthy cells, and as I say that, I'm just like, I feel so anxious. I feel like, woof, like I've been punched in the gut, like I can't, like I shouldn't even be saying that. This is very strange. So, whatever we're going to bring in, sorry, there's a burp there. Before we begin, I'm going to go ahead and grab some crystals. I'm going to grab my onyx. I'm going to grab also my quartz. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my healing, my Reiki pyramid. And I'm going to place that right in front of me, right in front of my solar plexus. If you know how to do Reiki, you can go ahead and put a protective symbol right over your solar plexus for yourself. If you know a third eye, you can go ahead and place that, how to do the evil eye, so it deflects any negativity. We're going to go ahead and put that right over the solar plexus. And for anyone who doesn't, don't worry, I'm doing it right now. We're putting in a cocoon from the top of your head. You can see it kind of smoldering over you like an egg. About 3, we're going to do it pretty high up. We're going to do at 4 auric levels around us. Ooh, nice, strong, white, golden light. And let that golden light fill up. So it fills up 4 auric levels around and then in. So over your body, over your head, your face, your back, and whoop, zipped up like a zipper right at the soles of your feet. And so you are wrapped up in this, cocoon of protection. Wonderful. All right. Now we're going forth with the session, continuing. So we're in the cells and we need to unburden. As soon as I say that, there's so much burping. So we're going to unburden the cells in completion. So there's different parts of the cell. We're doing the whole cell, unburdening the whole cell. Then we're going into the cellular lining and we need to do a repair on the Wei Qi. Feels really thin and almost like bombarded. And this is from environmental radiation is coming in. So environmental toxins, whether they be pesticides sprayed in the air, whether it be any kind of modification taking, as soon as I say that. Okay, so any kind of toxicity, regardless of source, is going to be unburdened, linking this detoxification into the lymphatic system, anchoring this into Mother Earth. So Mother Earth knows how to deal with these toxins. So we're going to dump it through the proprioceptors of your feet right down. So lymphatic system drainage coming in to support that unburdening of the cells. So that could be an unburdening of overthinking, an unburdening of emotional content, unburdening of memory, unburdening of physical dysfunction within the cells, an unburdening of whatever burdens you. I'm going to link that to your prefrontal cortex so that your body mind can get to work and start to unburden the cells. We're doing an environmental balance to toxicity, regardless of source. I'm leaving it wide open. Um, so that's going to help the Wei Qi of your cells be nice and strong. We want a nice, healthy Wei Qi around the cells. Now, the cells on the inside, that intracellular fluid feels very sluggish. It's just really strange. And I'm feeling this weird, slow feeling in the pit of my gut and my stomach. I feel like I've 4 months pregnant. My stomach just ballooned out and getting these weird sensations at the back of my head, right at the occipital ridge through that occipital lobe. Oh, so we're going to slowly, this is going to be a slow detox. This is not really the time to do detoxing. We just moved through that summer solstice. So for us in the north, we've moved into summer. Those in the southern hemisphere just moved into winter. And this is the time of slowing down. So we're going to tune into the change of the season and use this unburdening not so much as a detoxification, although it will have the benefits of rebalancing the pH within your body and detoxing the body, but more and of tuning into slowing down. So not going so quick, not going so quick with the mind, with emotionality, reacting to emotions, really moving into that slowness, into the feminine, into that passive dynamic of introspection, of gentleness, of sensuality, of nurturing, so that you can take the time over this next week to nurture those cells, rebuild the Wei Qi, and whatever needs to be excreted well. There, that feels really, that feels nice. There's a shift. And a nice breath. And I'm going to tap this part of the session in here. You can just sit back and relax and receive. Now we're moving into breaking habits. Breaking habits. So you can think about what habits you have. Do you wake up in the morning and habitually have a cup of coffee, even though your body feels sick and nauseous having a cup of coffee? Or are you okay? Or do you have a ritualistic coffee? You wake up in the morning and you have your ritual, you make your cup of coffee. But if there's no coffee, you're not having a freak out, you can replace that with a cup of tea or maybe a glass of juice or some water. Or do you absolutely need that cup of coffee and doing it so habitually? That's just a very general example. But it seems like those habits, those old ways, that's the way I've always done it. That's the way it's always been done. This is what my parents have shown me. This is how it's done through the generations. This is what other people tell me to do. This is what others say that I should do. It takes away that adventure for life, that each moment is a magical moment. There's not like this big magical moment. The magic is in the mundane. And when you live that life, your life from that space of everything I'm doing is a ritual, there's nothing I need to do. I just need to rest and breathe, and all will get done. So you are not the doer, you are being done. And so we're tuning into this, breaking the habits, and we're going into the section 7 of the hypothalamus to, there's pathological consciousness coming in here where serving yourself, like being self-serving, so manipulative, abusive, maybe controlling, domineering is coming in. You're trying to get your way and you manipulate others to do so. So just a really quick example, like, no, Monica, I would never do that. Well, there's a big release there. Say if you're a parent and your children are running around and you just want them to sit down and be quiet. You hand them all lollies and whatever it is, you flip on the TV and you just stuff them with candies or whatever pleasures they want so that you don't have to deal with them. That's serving, that's being manipulative. That's actually being self-serving. Living from dharma, dharmic living, or being in service to self is very different. You don't need, oh, there's limits for the children. Yes, for example, everyone needs a limit. It's not good to be absolutely, without boundary or without, even our body has a limit, right? Otherwise we'd be spilled out all over the place. But if the children are making noise, there's no need to, and if they're playing and having fun, and then if you're just not feeling it, then you can remove yourself from the situation. Right? Go upstairs or go close the door in the bathroom or take a shower or lay down on the floor, whatever it is needed to help you, whatever is needed to help you in that moment by being in service to self. The dharmic living, very, very different. So there's a confusion within that hypothalamus, that section 7. We need to switch it. It feels really twisted. So I'm going to run a Seedry here. If you're curious about Seedry, what that is, you can go ahead and take a body talk class. Or you can reach out and I can help you out with that a little bit. So we're running a Seedry here, and we're going to link that into a few aspects of the brain. So into the inner cerebellum, which has to do with coordination, and the cerebellum is basically our old brain, helps with balance, keeping balance, so we're nice and stable. And I could feel that this is very destabilizing for some reason. This is just like my brain feels scrambled. It's like, oh, it's such a huge confusion. So I'm going to tap cortices to this link, tap cortices to the link between the hypothalamus, section 7 of the hypothalamus to the inner cerebellum. There we go. We're going to run hydration. We're going to dump any kind of active memories of, yeah, but this is the way I've always done it. Any of those habitual patterns, regardless of source. So whether you came up with them on your own or if they were passed down through the lineage, doesn't matter. Whether you heard it and you took it on yourself, we're going to run active memories through here, dumping that and clearing out that hypothalamus. It needs to be nice and clear. Oh, there's a breath. Oh, good. I'm far less dizzy. And we're going down and through. We're going into the myelin sheath of the nervous system, and we're dumping habits. We're just keeping it nice and simple. Habitual thinking. No, we're going to leave it as habits. So whatever habits that you have, you can think about those for yourself. Think about whether you're doing it from, this is a ritual that I do for myself, or this is a habit that I'm just doing for the sake of it. So we're going to dump that out of the myelin sheath. There we go. Now we're going to go into the small intestines. Small intestines knows what's what. This is where our intuition lies, this enteric brain. It discerns. It's like an alchemist. It takes the pure from the unpure, and takes our vitamins and minerals and proteins and fats and everything that we need to keep this body nice, alive, and healthy. It's the thing that sucks in the water to keep us hydrated. But when the mind is involved and says, no, no, don't listen to that, then that's a problem. We don't want the mind making our choices for us. It's all over the place. I'm sure you've talked yourself in and out of something in the same breath. I have done so many times. So we're going to go and link the small intestines to the brain, into the brain, where the small intestine function sits in the brain. And we need to do a repair to that part of the brain where the small intestine can be found in the brain. The brain is really cool. If you look at the brain and do a scan of it and you find cold spots in the brain, those cold spots are reflected in dysfunction within the body. So if you're having let's say you're having lower back pain, you can find the part of the brain that's connected to your spine that's having a dysfunction. I just think that's incredible. Tapping your cortices as a standalone technique can improve your health up to 65%. If you want to learn how to tap your cortices, reach out. I'd be happy to share that with you. All right, so we're doing that repair to the brain in relation where it's held. The small intestines is held within the brain. So we're linking those two up. So the brain and the small intestines need to be in good communication. Whoa, there we go. There we go. And then we're going to do a repair to that part of the brain. All right, I'm going to tap this part in. Trying to see if there's something else. Well, we're going to just bring in diaphragm, small intestines for this whole session to dump any active memories, to help synthesize, to help release emotion, for synthesis and neutralization, for synthesis and release. All right. Thank you all so much for being here with me, and enjoy your week, and see you next time.